everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show. And welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamothy Solo. Enjoy the show.
Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast with myself, Matt Likes Games, and I've got Ham Solo here. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, actually. One thing that I know I'm very opinionated on, and we will be getting into all that. But before we get into that, we got to start with what we've been playing. So, Ham, what have you been playing? What have you been up to this past week?
Man, I'm still trying to wake up. Jeez Louise, and it's 1 p.m. over here, and I'm still trying to wake up because
I feel you. I didn't sleep
I'm
good.
still suffering issues with Starfield, and
nice.
I've been playing that game still. Dragon's Dogma. Let's see. Yeah, I played that just on Monday for a few hours.
Yeah, I need to look into that.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Let's see. Blitz the League 2. Been playing some of that.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been playing just a little bit here and there, even on my Saturn with some centering boxing JVC. So
good stuff.
Yeah, I've been a little all over the place. I haven't been playing anything like brand new unless Starfield.
Yeah.
I beat Spider-Man a little while ago, but yeah, that's done. And it's like a fortunate and unfortunate kind of thing, because it's like I just spent $70.
See, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2.
Me too.
But it's like, dude, I was done with it Monday night. And then I uninstalled it. And I'm like, ugh. And I mean Monday night of last week, not Monday night of the like a week ago was Monday night. And then I uninstalled it and I'm just like, dude, that was $70.
Yeah.
That was $70. And it was a really good game. Very, very quality game. You know, bugs and whatnot every now and then, but very quality game. But yeah, it's kind of how I felt about it too.
Yeah, it kind of stinks. I'm hoping that they bring out DLC for that game.
Oh, they need to. I feel like the way they ended that. Plus, like, there's a bunch of like side content in that game that's like, if I'm not mistaken, the way it ends, if you 100% the map, is like kind of on like, okay, well, that's not really an ending. So I feel like they've got a bunch of stuff that they can do for DLC. It's just a matter of when, and I'm hoping it's not too long from now, honestly. But we'll see. We will see. But yeah, is there anything else you were playing?
No, that's pretty much the gist of it. There's a new game that came into Game Pass that I have yet to try to play. I think it's like Descent or something like that.
Yeah, I want to try that. I saw
I can't
somebody.
wait to get on that, but
Yeah, I've seen people talk really good about it, like say really nice things about it. They also said if you're afraid of heights, which I don't really think I have a fear of heights, but then Dying Light 2 triggered some shit in me. Or Dying Light 2, the heights in Dying Light 2 felt like scary on like a fucking primal level. So I'm interested to see what it sounds like. Because I don't even know what that game is, honestly. Do you know what that game is? What kind of game it is?
Descent?
Yeah.
Just climbing.
Just climbing?
Climbing. It's like a climbing kind of puzzly kind of game.
Gotcha. Well, I'll check it out. That launched like 2 days ago, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to download it and see for myself. But yeah, I mean, as far as what I've been playing, Alan Wake. I started the remaster when I got it on sale like a while ago, and then I just kind of stopped playing it. Alan Wake 2 came out. It got all of its reviews, and I'm like, that actually looks interesting. Maybe I'm missing out, because for whatever reason, Alan Wake didn't click with me when I tried it the first time. And I went back and like gave it a proper shot and really focused in on what was happening in the story. And then by the end of it, I was like, oh, this game is fantastic. This is a really good game. And then I beat that. I went to Control's Alan Wake expansion. I beat that. That was some weird, freaky shit. That was pretty damn terrifying, but also very fun. Finished that up, and then I got Alan Wake 2, and I've barely touched Alan Wake 2. I've like walked forward a little bit in Alan Wake 2. And I need to play some more. Maybe I'll stream that, honestly. That might be something to stream. I honestly should have streamed that last night, but it was too late when I beat the Control DLC to start a stream. But yeah, I'll probably stream that this week. As for anything else I've been playing, oh yeah, 2K. 2K24. I got that on sale, and then I've been playing the My Team like a fiend, like a terrible, awful human being. And that's a problem. That's going to be a problem for like probably another month, we'll say, until I'm done with My Team, and then I can actually relax. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. This
man got some of the worst FOMO in the world, man.
Well, 2K is not fun. I could have waited for 2K, but it was on sale. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to get it at the end of the season, so whatever. But Alan Wake 2, yeah, I probably could have waited on that, but I wanted to get into it after the Control DLC. Shit, I'm trying to think. What else? Because I know there's games that are coming out, or games. There's Remnant 2 announced their DLC, their first DLC. I just saw that. I forget what it's called. In fact, let me look it up while I'm talking. But I need to go back and beat Remnant 2. Because I was playing with Mike, and then Mike went ahead, like right before Starfield, and beat it. But yeah, I need to get back into that and beat that. The Awakened King launches later this month, so yeah. Look forward to that if you played Remnant 2. But Lady Foxfire, what's up? Appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, we can get to the topics now. And there are some topics that we do need to talk about. And first of all, I want to start with the big one, which is Bungie. Bungie layoffs reportedly amounted to around 100 staff. And this is a story that the more you read about it, just the worse it gets. Like, every detail that comes out about this just makes it so much worse. And it really sucks. As someone who kind of been a fanboy for Bungie since I played Halo CE. Even in the Destiny years, like, I buy every Destiny expansion. I haven't played them like regularly since 2019, but I buy every single one. So, you know, I guess I'm an idiot for that, but
I'm happy I stopped supporting them a long time ago. Like, hearing this, like,
dude, it's shit.
It makes me happy that I got mad at Destiny and I never came back. And I got mad at Destiny 2 at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, I spent I spent the $60 that it costed, right? And then it went down to $5 when they did that. I was like, all right, I am out right there, because like the way they treated it at the beginning when Destiny 2 launched was tragic.
Yeah,
it was not running good. It was just. It was just like the content, and it was just not great.
No,
it was not great. So like, I turned it on and played it for a little while, and I was just like, dude, I don't know why, but this is like day 3, and I'm bored already.
Yeah, the problem with that is, well, the problem with Destiny 2 has a lot of problems, honestly. But I think the main one at launch was like, that game didn't need to exist. That could have been an expansion for Destiny 1. They could have just still rode Destiny 1 because they just came off the Taken King, and that was like unanimously the best DLC for Destiny of all time, still to this point. So it's like, you could have just rode off of that and then added whatever you wanted from Destiny 2 and to Destiny 1, called it a day, and you would have got no fan backlash. You would have got none of that shit. You've been playing the same game. It would have been nice and fun. Everybody would have been happy. But I mean,
you're right. I like that you said that there wasn't a real point in having a Destiny 2.
No,
it was just they sold me DLC for $60.
They did, and if it makes you feel any better, they sold it to me for $100 because I got the ultimate thing. So it's like, and then imagine how I feel when they're like, oh, like I'm ecstatic when they split from ABK. I can't believe it. I'm thrilled, right? And then they're like, we're going free to play, and I'm like, that's awesome, more players. Am I getting my $100 back? No.
Right.
No, you're not. That's just ours now. It's like, that's
like the opposite of what Arc did. Arc says early access, okay, cheaper than the game costs.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I bought early access at full price, and then once the game came out, everybody got it for cheap. And I was just like, yo, I don't like that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, I fell off after the first 2 DLCs. And then there were a bunch of DLCs up until, like, Cade dies. And then when Cade dies, I came back. And it's like, oh, yeah, a bunch of the DLC before that is just shelved. You can't play anymore. So it's like, you play those first 2 DLCs. There's a bunch in between the ones that you haven't played, which means you can't play those anymore. You bought them, but you can't play them anymore.
That's crazy.
And it's like, I don't know. the way Bungie's been going the last few years, it's just, it was exciting at first, and then when PlayStation got them, it's like, okay, maybe they'll they'll get it turned around and everything, but they just seem to keep slipping. But yeah, the details on this, I mean, like it says, around 100 employees were let go. In fact, let me bring this up on screen so you can actually see the article. Here we go. All right. Yeah, Bungie's layoffs reportedly amounted to around 100 staff. Staff who were due to get shares for staying at Bungie will also lose those shares, it's claimed. That was one of the things that, like...
That's the crazy part.
Yeah, it's so shitty that you get laid off in the first place. But to be awarded or almost be awarded shares for staying at Bungie, now they're like, fuck that. You're done. Get out of here. With like nothing. Just like and it's people like their art team. Like, I don't know how most people feel about Bungie. I mean, well, the general consensus is that they have a very good art team. They have one of the best art teams in the business in terms of just concept art, in terms of like actual game art. There's their environments and everything. It's amazing. They laid off a good amount of their art team, and it's like, I don't know what the plan is at Bungie. And then on top of that, you lay off Michael Salvatore, which, if you don't know who Michael Salvatore is, he's literally the dude who co-created any piece of music you hear in Halo or Destiny up until Halo Reach. He's created that music with Marty O'Donnell. He's been at Bungie since Halo was a demo on the Mac. And it's like, he just, one random day in 2023, they're just like, hey, get the fuck out. It's like, dude, I don't know. I just look at that and I'm like, dude, if Michael Salvatore isn't safe from being laid off, dude, imagine being a aspiring game dev who just enrolled in college, who just enrolled and they're studying game development. They want to get into a specific aspect, maybe animation or whatever, and then they see stuff like this. They're like, dude, that guy's not even safe. I'm just someone who's starting college to learn about this stuff. Maybe I fucked up. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, all of this during a year where you hear people say it's the best year in gaming. Like, I still think of 2007, but this is a great year for gaming in terms of the games we're getting. And on the flip side of that, this is the shit we're dealing with. Not just at Bungie, but industry-wide. But yeah, I want to pass it off to you because I've been rambling. What are your thoughts about everything you've heard about Bungie the last week? Because it's been bad.
I'm still standing on my hill of 2004. But this whole layoff situation is tragic, man. It's not good.
No,
it's not a good look, and Bungie's starting to look like a bad guy.
A little bit.
They're starting to look like. Sorry, my eyes are like bugging me out right now.
You're all good.
Eye drops. But anyways, but yeah, they are not looking hot. They're looking like a bad guy, and what I mean by that is, look at the way they left Xbox. They left Xbox being all salty and mad.
Mm-hmm.
They left, and then Xbox is like, fine, go be independent. Go do your thing. Activision gets them.
Oof.
They have their problems with Activision. Activision's like, all right, whatever, take Destiny, whatever, just go. Get out.
Yeah.
Now they're bought by PlayStation. and we already heard the rumors and stuff about what they did, what they said about The Last of Us, and now you're looking here, and Jason Schreier has something that he posted saying Bungie laid off 8% of staff Monday, or around 100 people. Sources tell Bloomberg. 2 weeks ago, staff were told they were projected to miss revenue targets by 45%, which is ridiculously high. Employees were galvanized to get this on track. Then came surprise layoff.
Mm-hmm.
So they got them all together to get them back in the right direction, just to kick them out the building.
Yeah. It's
like,
tragic.
Man, cut throat. And this is why people are so high and mighty on unions and stuff like that to happen. Because look at the safety that they got let off with, right?
Yeah.
You kick them out, they get 1 day of coverage, which is expired by now because it's November.
Oh yeah, it's done.
It's over. Your coverage is done.
Mm-hmm.
And you lost your share because you got fired. Because that was a new rule put in place.
Yep.
To take your shares away from you once you leave Bungie.
Yeah.
So what they pretty much did was siphon the best that they could out of you right at the end, or the most that they could out of you right at the end, and then literally kicked you out the vehicle on the curb. You don't even know it.
Yeah. Dude, it's not good, man. Like I said when I brought this topic up, Bungie, since I was regularly playing video games, like on a regular, consistent basis, has been one of my favorite studios. And to see what's going on now, and you brought up a quick side note. You brought up after they left Xbox, or after they kind of Xbox and them had their split, they went independent for a little bit, and then they signed with Activision, or they signed a contract with Activision. Well, there was an interview not too long ago, maybe around when Halo Infinite launched. I can't remember honestly, where Marty O'Donnell sat down with Hidden Xperia, who's like a Halo YouTuber, and he was talking about the experience of leaving Xbox with Bungie, and then the moment he realized they fucked up signing with Activision. There was I wish I could find like a short clip of it, but everything's like 2-hour podcast. I'm not scanning through all of it. But Marty he said he was in a meeting at a dinner with top people from Activision, and one of the things came up of Marty being like, be nice to the goose, as in, if you give us the tools to do what we need to do and let us do it, then we will produce everything that you can possibly need. And one of the dudes at Activision, don't know who to this day, because I don't think he even said, but he said, one of the dudes said, yeah, but sometimes I like a nice filet mignon. And I'm like, that should have told you right then and there that whoever that is psychotic, first of all, and you should not be signing that deal. But they did. It went down the path that we're all well aware of. They left with Activision, and I mean, just before this came out, like right when Bungie got bought out by PlayStation, there was a letter out to employees. In fact, there was like multiple articles saying that Bungie promises employees that the PlayStation acquisition won't lead to layoffs. That was a year ago. Yeah, that was a year ago. Like, this won't lead to layoffs. Fast forward a year later, 100 of you are gone. You're not getting your shares. Like you just mentioned.
The whole point of the extra money that Sony gave Bungie was for employee retention.
Yeah. It's like, and it's, I don't understand it. Because it's like, there's people who will say like, oh, well, maybe they didn't need these employees. And it's like, first of all, that's a really like callous way of looking at this. But I mean, second of all, you need Michael Salvatore. You need if you're Bungie, you need your art team. Your art team's carrying your studio. Like, for the most part, you need your art team. You need pretty much everyone there who's been doing what they've been doing for the last decade. Honestly, that's what you need. But I don't know, man. It's just such a bad situation. Also, there were some more details. Oh yeah, you mentioned the health insurance. So they got a day of that. They got that single day of health insurance, and now that's lapsed. That's done. And I don't know. Apparently, these layoffs come from Bungie management, not Sony. So people who are kind of trying to pin it on Sony.
I see. I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy that for a second. No. I'm so tired of this. Don't look at Sony. Look at this. No. If this was the coalition, if this was Bethesda, if this was Division right now, then they would be like, Xbox is ruining another studio. Mm-hmm. There would be no focus on the dev, not the platform or publisher. Like, no, stop it with that.
Yeah. Also, it's like you're owned by PlayStation, and just like you said, like whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, anybody, like if a studio under Nintendo's umbrella suffers massive layoffs, we don't look at that studio. We look at Nintendo. Like, what's going on? What's happening? Same for Xbox, and in this case, PlayStation. Like, dude, if Bungie is suffering big layoffs, I mean, as soon as Bungie's not independent anymore, I'm looking at whoever owns them. Right now, it's Sony. So you can tell me, yo, it's not Sony, but I mean, I'm just doing the math in my head. I'm just looking at it with some common sense. Like, dude, if Sony owns you and you lay off 100 people, that seems like it would have come from Sony. So, and it's like, you look at everything that's going on with Sony. I mean, Sony's been in like just, I don't want to say dire straits as of late, but like just weird shit happening at Sony, where it's like, you know, first of all, you got Bungie consulting on Last of Us Factions, leading the Last of Us Factions ultimately reportedly getting canceled. And then now with Jim Ryan leaving, you got some dude stepping in the interim after he leaves in March. And then you got this, and then, you know, we don't have a roadmap for 2024. Like, everything that's happening at Sony is just fucking weird. It doesn't make any sense. And this is kind of like the cherry on top of all of it, where it's like, you can argue, honestly, like, I know people are going to say, oh, it's Naughty Dog, it's Insomniac. And it probably is Insomniac, honestly, now they got the Spider-Man IP. But outside of Insomniac, Bungie, in terms of like just making money for the company, Bungie's probably their most profitable studio. So it's like, to see everything happening right now with Bungie, and they're like the second most profitable studio at PlayStation. I mean, nobody else is beating them for that second spot. They might even be beating Insomniac, honestly, with Destiny's live service. So it's like, I don't know, man. Also, did you see that profits were down 45% for Bungie after their latest expansion, and that's what led to this?
Yeah.
Which is like,
Yeah, I read that off.
oh yeah, shit, you did. I'm sorry, man. But yeah, it's like, if I don't know, it just seems backwards, man. It just seems so backwards. Like, if you're not gonna listen to fans, like Bungie has some of the most loyal fans in like the entire industry. And if they're not gonna listen to your fans and what they want in your game, that they're the ones buying, they're the ones supporting, then that's exactly what happens. So it's like, not listening to fans is just costing people their jobs at this point. In a weird roundabout kind of way, which is just, I don't know. It's a dumb situation. And it seems like every day for the past week we've been learning something new about it, and I'm sure by the end of the week there will be even more news about it. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do you want to add anything else to the Bungie saga?
I mean, other than, the BS that, what's his name says, like that Pete Parsons guy, like that bullshit that he said, he said today is a sad day at Bungie as we say goodbye to colleagues who have all made a significant impact on our studios. What these exceptional individuals have contributed to our games and Bungie culture has been enormous and will continue to be a part of Bungie long into the future. And then he makes a statement right under it saying, these are truly talented people. If you have openings, I would highly recommend each and every one of them. And to me, it's just like so backhanded the way that you release these people, and what you're trying to hurry up and save face by saying, go give them a job immediately because we fucked.
Give them a job because we just fired them.
We just put them in a really bad spot, so I just recommend that you hire anybody that we just let go, like have our seconds. And then something comes out. I remember reading yesterday, not sure how verified this is, but I seen it from a pretty honest source saying that he ended up coming back into the office saying we have everybody that we need for Destiny 2 now. Which I'm just like, yo.
No.
So like,
no, you don't.
You're just comfortable and okay saying this, and then for all the people that are like, oh, this isn't Sony, this is Bungie. I'm just like, you're full of shit. You're 100% full of shit, because if you look at what's going on, Naughty Dog, it's not so great. What's his McCall? Destin actually just got done saying something yesterday that I thought was mega interesting. He was saying that that I know layoffs are happening across the industry, but what's happening at Sony feels like scorched earth approach. It's scary, and now I see fire sprite rumblings that I can only hope are false.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Sony's in such a, like, I don't know what's going on at Sony, but like, if we have a year like this year from Sony, or God forbid a year worse than this year from Sony, because right now there's not a Spider-Man 2 for 2024. Like, I know the whole thing is like, oh, Wolverine's coming in 2024. Dude, if Insomniac ships Wolverine in 2024, then fucking, like, somebody needs to be throwing them a party every day of the week. Every day of the week. Because if that happens, then I don't even know what to say at that point.
It's just so, like, weird that it feels like after every game we're waiting for the next Insomniac. And it's just like,
exactly.
What is happening here?
Dude, they got so many. Like, I know, dude, the joke is, oh, Microsoft owns half the industry, whatever shit people like to say. But it's like, dude, PlayStation has a lot of studios. And we haven't seen anything from anybody other than Insomniac. I mean, we got The Last of Us remake, and we got Horizon Forbidden West. Ratchet and Clank, that's Insomniac. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Lady Foxfire says in the chat, CEO Pete Parsons conducted a meeting to address the situation. According to a report by IGN earlier this week, he allegedly told the remaining employees that the company had retained. Yeah, so like what Ham was saying, that the company had retained, quote, the right people. It's like, dude, I know that's false because you got rid of Michael Salvatore. And I feel shitty saying that because it's like there's a lot of people who lost their jobs whose name isn't Michael Salvatore. But it's like, if you're getting rid of Michael Salvatore, you already right there didn't retain the right people. You already failed to do that. So imagine the other 99 people who got laid off. Pretty sure you fucked up a little bit on that one, Bungie. But the question I wanted to ask you to kind of wrap up this Bungie saga is, I suggested it. I've seen other people suggest it. I think Xbox should be like furiously getting out there, like feverishly getting out their checkbook right now, writing blank checks to most of that art team, honestly, to see if they can get them to come to 343. I would 1,000% be on the phone with Michael Salvatore. I'm sure Michael Salvatore probably doesn't love the idea of working for Microsoft again because they did not end on very good terms. In fact, I think they only recently, or relatively recently, settled their lawsuit. But, I mean, do whatever you can to mend some bridges, write some checks. I would be getting a good amount of these people at 343. Whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's just fucking coding, I don't care. I mean, but what do you think?
What do I think about what particular?
Do you think that Microsoft should, or better yet, let's skip Microsoft, 343 should be in contact with some of these employees? Snatch them up.
343 should be in contact?
Yeah, snatch them up.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know though, because as you just got done saying, some of the relationships just didn't get mended right, and I'm not sure if you want to bring any sort of negativity from something else into your workplace. But I would think it'd be silly to just like say that about everybody. You know, I definitely would want to see the people that lost their jobs get a job somewhere that they feel comfortable and safe.
Yeah. That's
like the ideal thing that you should want for people, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I don't want the person that's making some of the games that I like to feel like they just are about to get released as soon as the game's launched.
Yeah.
And I also don't want that to happen because I don't want the next game to flop because that person's not there anymore.
Yeah. Yep. And that's honestly a good way of looking at it.
So me wanting safety for them is still beneficial for me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I want a good game. I want a solid game. I want a game that's going to work and continue to make a legacy or a dynasty out of what they decide to make or come out with. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's that simple, to be honest.
Yeah. Bill in the chat, or Amir W in the chat, says, I know some old head console warriors that are excited about these layoffs. I mean, here's the thing. I've seen a good amount of that on Twitter as well. It's weird behavior, honestly. I don't think there's anything really to be excited about. And here's the thing: if you're online console warring about this, I mean, just wait till next year when the ABK layoffs happen.
Oh, I see what you did. You lit me on fire, you dick.
Cause that. Oh, on Dead Island. Yeah, I just
Yes,
saw
I was sitting there, man. I threw that shit on the floor and cooled everything off and went and punched that zombie in the face. And I was like, man, that was slick right there. And then here you come, you shoot the floor
what
with the gun of that
What
has
just-
flames.
what just
and
happened.
I get caught on fire. So that was you. That I was sitting there wondering when that happened when we were playing.
I
Like, how the
remember
hell
that
did I get
too.
caught on fire. The zombie ain't got no guns or anything.
I remember that too. What just happened? Why am I on fire? I don't know. It's weird. I couldn't tell you. It's strange. I thought you put it out, honestly.
Man, okay.
I appreciate you, Bill, for stopping by, but yeah, it's like, dude, anybody online console worrying about layoffs. I mean, same shit's gonna happen because 2024 is gonna roll around. ABK is gonna have layoffs. It's gonna fucking suck, but it's gonna happen. It comes for every single company at just any point in time, and it sucks whenever it happens. So console worrying about it it's pointless. It's pointless because you're gonna have egg on your face sooner or later if you're doing that. It's also people's lives. Don't do that. Don't do that shit. But yeah, I mean that kind of wraps up the whole Bungie thing and everything. But
Yeah.
there is some other stuff. Xbox. Well, there's some Xbox related stuff. We'll get into that. I don't know if you saw it. In fact, I think you talked about it actually. Now that I bring it up on your podcast with Loke yesterday. The Xbox's new policy. They're getting rid of. We're not getting rid of, but they're not going to be supporting unlicensed products or accessories for their consoles.
No, me and K Mega talked about that on Monday.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Amir has a question about Bungie real quick. He says, "You guys think Bungie purchases will go down as one of the worst purchases long term?" Oh, like PlayStation buying Bungie will go down as one of the worst long term. Here's the
I
thing.
think that's what he's getting at. And I don't know. It really just depends on. I think we'd have to wait and see what they actually come out with.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to, kill the chicken before I get the eggs, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's not looking great right now. And see, this is why I tell people don't sleep on PlayStation. I've been trying to tell people don't sleep on PlayStation. They might be making some messed up moves and stuff like that, but they're still like in the front of the pack, right?
Yeah.
And all it really takes is a couple moves to make them look good again. I mean, it's just like LeBron. LeBron can be having a pretty like 500 season, right? But if they somehow make it into the play and people forget about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People will forget that, oh, well, he still made the playoffs and he still got out the first round and all this. And, like, not to say that they're wrong about that. I'm just saying that, like, people have minds of fishes and they remember what did you do for me lately, right? Yeah. And a lot of people, and you can see it on Twitter every day, purposely go out of their way to ignore negativity from something that they like.
Yes. Oh, 100%. All the time.
So will it be a bad purchase? I still think we're about 2 years out on that. 2 to 5 years out on that, because I feel like at the start of the next generation will really tell you who was a good purchase for people around this time and who was a bad purchase. But if you're just asking me to just kind of like look into the future and just guess, oh my goodness. Okay, Bill.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what you're saying there, Bill.
But if he's just asking me just to like kind of like look into the future and kind of guess, I would say that they are not gonna be. It's gonna be one of the not so good purchases for that just short amount of time period that I just gave.
Interesting. So I'm gonna say,
like for some reason, I'm not gonna lie. I see Marathon, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's gonna be it.
I get that. I 100% get that.
I don't know if that game's gonna be it. I'm willing to try it because
Same.
I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the first Destiny a lot, but see, this isn't gonna be a Destiny.
No,
nothing
it's an extraction shooter from what we're told.
And to me, that sounds like everything I dodge.
Same here.
I don't want to play those kind of games.
Same here.
But I'll play it because I'm a gamer and I don't like, and I do have a level of FOMO as well. Sure. So I'll still try it out, especially since it's supposed to be, I believe it's supposed to be a free-to-play game. So.
Yeah, I think everything Destiny, everything Bungie makes at this point is probably going to be free to play,
and that's scary.
It's here, and here's what I'm going to say, because Bill asked that question. My answer to that question is I think this will be bad for Bungie. I think this has the potential, and I say think, I don't know, maybe it ends up being great for Bungie. I hope it is, because I really want Bungie to succeed. I want the best for them. I want things to look good for Bungie. I want to be excited about Bungie again, because the last few years it's just not the case.
After this news, I sure don't. I don't care about Bungie right now.
It's hard to. It's very hard to care about Bungie, especially after this news. Man,
they can suck it easy. I am not a fan right now.
They can suck it easy. That's hilarious. Dude, I think it still be bad for Bungie. I think for PlayStation, it could be beneficial. Because really the reason that PlayStation brought in Bungie was consulting on live service. Because, like, there's no real benefit. There's no real benefits. There's no real benefits for Bungie in this. Or not Bungie, but PlayStation in this, other than consulting on live services. Because Bungie's games still go everywhere. I mean, they basically, from what I understand, Bungie still publishes their games as well. So it's like Sony doesn't get anything on that angle from Bungie. But what they do get is consulting on live services. And we know after watching, PlayStation's latest showcase, or not their latest, but the latest big showcase, that they are very heavily invested in live service games right now. Very heavily invested.
My question back to you after saying that is, is Bungie like because I want you to finish what you're saying, but I do want to kind of branch off to this real quick. Is Bungie the best consultant?
Well, here's the thing, and this is where I don't align with what PlayStation's doing, because in terms of bringing in money, in terms of just sheer revenue, obviously Lightfall, they missed the profit target by 45%. That was a bad expansion, and it shows profit wise that it was a bad expansion. But everything up to that point, in terms of just money, they are, outside of Call of Duty, they are as good as, and Fortnite obviously, they are as good as you can get. Somebody doesn't have the money to go buy Activision Blizzard King, or just buy even Activision. They don't have the money to do that. But what they can do is buy Bungie, who's been running one of the most successful live services since 2014, whenever Destiny 1 came out.
Okay.
So it's like, just in terms of a money aspect, yes. Now, in terms of what fans actually want for the last 4 years, it seems like Bungie doesn't really fucking know. Seems like they don't really have a clue. But in terms of money, it's only been relevant. That's only been relevant this past expansion. Because everything up to that, they've just been crushing it. Record profits. They can't miss. Even though there's like tons of problems with their game. Oh, our multiplayer doesn't work. It isn't balanced. One class just walks around the maps and just fucking kills everybody. There's no point in really playing it because you'll get obliterated because everyone's a warlock or whatever shit. So it's like...
Yeah, but see, you're consulting for a game that you know is already a success.
Sure. But the thing is...
see, that's where I'm a little like... I feel like they're untested.
What are we talking about?
I feel like this whole Sony thing is really them having their first chance at a job of management with somebody else's stuff.
Are you talking about them consulting on Last of Us?
What's that?
Are you using the example of them consulting on Last of Us? Or are you saying like Destiny?
I'm using the example of that, but also you're talking about just consulting in the future as well.
Yes,
other live service games.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying, like, they've been really good at taking care of themselves.
Yes.
Or at least been good at, as I'd say they've been good as well in using others to take care of themselves as well.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they really I'm one, and I feel like a lot of people are questioning this too. Like, sure, you know how to understand and market your game, and I understand probably The Last of Us, they were probably right in a lot of aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
But these live service games are random in the sense of, like, Fortnite was an accident.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like, you don't really... I don't know if any one dev really has the pulse on live service.
Yeah.
Like, it really just seems like... And sure, you can say Destiny is very consistent with their with their DLCs and, you know, getting their money, you know, getting their money with the whole revenue and everything like that. But I'm just wondering, like, are you really qualified enough to tell somebody that their idea couldn't get them off the floor to then figure something out? It just has to be just axed right here.
Yeah, I think, and here's the thing, I think that's a good question, and I think the answer to that is possibly no. But I also, again, this is where I think PlayStation is fucking up. I don't think PlayStation cares. PlayStation sees the money that Bungie's making off of live service. They release an expansion every year like clockwork, and they're like, we want to know how to do that. And Bungie's like, well, we can tell you how to do that, but, you know, Bungie, for example, they're like, we can tell you how to do that, but maybe it doesn't work for the game you want to make. And Sony just seems to be like, well, we don't care about that.
My cousin Matt. You know my cousin Matt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, because your name's Matt, and I always made you guys... I always got you guys. You can tell by the way he comes in chats and whatnot. He's not the biggest news guy when it comes to games, right?
Yes.
He just texted me just now saying, dumb decision by Bungie to fire the OG. And he shared a picture breaking Michael Salvatore. And I'm just like, yo, he's out here saying this.
Thank you. I mean, dude,
like,
yeah, that's big fucking news. That's big fucking
That's how
news.
deep these these connections to Bungie are that I got family texting me that I know that they like they play games, so every once in a blue moon they hear a rumbling, right?
Yeah, but they're not in the. They don't know. They're not ingratiated in the fucking community.
No, not even slightly. So just to see that he's texting me saying like, "Yo, they got rid of the OG."
Dude, I'm telling, dude. I saw people on my Facebook, or one of my best friends from school. We used to play Halo all the time. I don't see him talking about gaming news ever on Facebook. I get on Facebook and he's like, "Dude, what's going on at Bungie?" It's like, dude, it's big news. Like, I don't even know if he still plays games, honestly. I don't fucking know. But it's like, that's on his news feed. He sees that. He's talking about it. It's like, I don't know. It's fucked up. But yeah, like, I don't think PlayStation cares if Bungie's the right studio to consult on Last of Us Factions. They just see the money that Bungie makes and they're like, make us money for all the other games.
Fair enough, yeah.
So like, I think there's gonna be situations where it's like, yeah, maybe Last of Us Factions was undercooked, maybe it wasn't where it needed to be, and Bungie was like, dude, that shit ain't cutting it. But maybe there's also situations where it's like, maybe the game is good. Maybe they have what they need. Maybe they can release it in early access and let players preview it, and then Bungie steps in and says, nah, not it. And it's like, we'll just never know, because in those examples, that will never come to the light of day. We'll never see it. We'll just never know. It's like, maybe, dude, for all we know, a few of those games they showed us last year or earlier this year, could be canceled. Like, it wouldn't surprise me with the way things are going right now at Sony. Like, some of those things could be canceled. Like, nobody really knows right now. But yeah, it's a weird situation. But yeah, to get back on the whole new policy over at Xbox, getting rid of the unlicensed Xbox accessories. I want to ask you first, what are your opinions on this? They're getting rid of, in order to have an Xbox accessory going forward, you will need it to be licensed. You can't have like these generic controllers that don't have the official license for Xbox on the box. You can't have that stuff. So only officially licensed products. I've got a few thoughts on this, but I want to ask you first, how do you feel about, them getting rid of unlicensed products or support for unlicensed products?
The way they did it to me is just what shocked me the most.
Okay.
I didn't really appreciate the way that they did it, even though it's not something that really affects me a whole lot, because I play with first party stuff. But like, I had K Mega me and him did our show on Monday, and he uses fight sticks and stuff like that. And he's not a cheater. I know he's not a cheater. He's way too prideful to be a cheater. Way too prideful to be a cheater.
Yeah.
So listening to him and his kind of disgust with the whole situation, just kind of like I get it. We've all throughout our lives at some point have been like, man, this should work with this. I don't see why this doesn't work with this. This is a clear, like when I see stuff like the PlayStation VR and stuff like that, I'm just like, why don't you work with a PC? Right?
Yeah.
So seeing that Xbox is kind of, and which Xbox has kind of been finicky already with other people's stuff working with their systems. Like, I'll come out here and say right now, it's easier to find a PlayStation headset for a decent price than it is to find an Xbox one. Luckily, Xbox ended up coming out with the $100 one, which made it really dope. But before that $100 headset that you can get from Xbox, there was very, very slim picking. And it was expensive to get anything halfway decent for it. So, and then I look at the other side with Sony, and it's just like a lot of the stuff worked. a lot of like things that worked for PC worked with Sony as well. And I was just like, that's so weird because you would think Xbox and PC are, you know, so tied together.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem to make any sense. So seeing that now, okay, now they took away the ability to be able to use third-party stuff that's not approved.
Oh shit.
I'm sure there's some news that you need to tell me right now that just dropped.
I don't know if this is 100% confirmed. Hazardor tweets layoffs being reported for Insomniac.
They just came out with their game too, man.
I hope that's not true. I don't know if it's confirmed.
I just don't know. I don't know how. But the thing is Hazardor doesn't lie on purpose.
No, he doesn't.
Never.
That's the thing.
Never have I seen Hazardor try to. He doesn't even like. I think he's an Xbox fan. I think he is. But see, me just saying I think he is tells me that hey, he keeps it pretty. He keeps it pretty honest.
Yeah.
When he says what he says, but yeah, you wanna report on that a little bit more, or do you want me to finish my point?
Yeah, we're gonna get right back into your point, but to add some context, this comes from Teamer 222. He does post news quite often, leaks and stuff, rumors and whatnot. But from LinkedIn, an ex-Insomniac employee says, I don't know what they're responding to, but he replies, "Can't forget Insomniac. A few people laid off like me 3-ish months ago." So around 3 months ago, Insomniac apparently had a few layoffs, according to this ex-employee.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was just to add some context, but yeah, I cut you off. I apologize. That kind of shocked me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like that might just be kind of a pile on.
Yeah.
Not really anything to really get super duper worried about, because I feel like it'd be different if it happened just now, but if this was something that happened a few months ago, then it's kind of like like it stinks, but it's too late to really get into our feelings about that, because that's been gone and whatever. And they just recently came out with a game, and I know sometimes when a game finishes, people sometimes get laid off and stuff like that. What would be interesting is to find out how long maybe this person was with that company or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking for more details, but I can't find nothing. I'll let you know. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. All in all, I was just trying to say that I just think that if they were gonna do this with the third-party accessories and stuff like that, that's fine. But give people some sort of countdown. You know, like it. And I use this like over analogy the other day, but I'm gonna use it again. Like imagine that you're just like walking down the street and you throw a piece, you throw a pop can into a trash can, and you know, officer happens to see it and he arrests you, and you're like, why'd I get arrested? And you're like, oh well, and he's like, well, you threw aluminum in there, you're supposed to recycle that, and you're not supposed to do that, so you're getting a ticket. And you're like, wait a second, I can do that. And he's like, no, well, the rules changed yesterday. You're not supposed to be able to do that. And it's like, well, where was the news at? And you're just not supposed to do that. And it's just like, wait. You didn't give me any warning.
No.
You just You just cut it off. You just cut it off. The rule was placed. The rule was taken care of, and I have no idea. So something that I may have been using or loved, and I was doing it perfectly legally,
Yep.
I just lost access to.
And it
can make or break somebody wanting to play a game.
100%. And that is how it happened, because this all started with people like, oh, I'm getting this weird error. And then you had people like Jez who looked into it, and they're like, oh yeah, Xbox is going to be having a new policy that they're putting into place in November. So, and I mean, today it goes into place where it's like, if you're using an unlicensed product, you'll get an error code. And it's like, people were getting this error code before this article came out. So how the fuck are they supposed to know what's going on? They just get an error code and they're like, dude, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. But yeah, like, wait, do you have more thoughts on it? Because I know I have
No.
some. I have some. Okay. So my initial reaction to this was, this is fucking stupid. And then I read into it some more. Where's it at? I just had it. Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about this part because I figured you were going to be more. You'd be able to clarify it a little bit better than I could, but I know where you're going with this. I'm pretty interested.
So, and the article from Windows Central, by the way. In fact, let me bring it up for you guys so you can actually see it on your end. In the article by Windows Central, they ask, why is Microsoft doing this? And it says, our sources indicate that Microsoft is lifting restrictions on the ability for third-party hardware manufacturers to build wireless accessories for Xbox Series X and S devices. So this is, if that's true, which, I mean, I don't see why Windows Central will get up here and just lie about that. That's huge news. Because for me, I have like this GameSir controller. I've got a Thrustmaster. I've got a bunch of wired controllers. In fact, I have 2 Thrustmasters. I have a bunch of wired controllers that I use while I'm sitting at this desk on my Series S. I even use them on my Series X back there. And I love this. This might be my favorite controller, this GameSir. But it's wired. It's an officially licensed product, but it's wired. Because up until this point, Microsoft has locked that ability to use their wireless tech to only them, pretty much. The only people who would do it third party are people like Scuff, and that's because they're just literally taking an Xbox controller, like a first party Xbox controller, customizing it and reselling it to you. That's the only way they get to do that. But up to this point, you cannot get a wireless Xbox controller third party. So once I saw that they were doing this, I'm like, okay, it sucks that they're getting rid, especially you mentioned K Mega. He has a fight stick. He has multiple fight sticks where it's like, okay, what do I do now? That sucks. But if it leads to more, for me personally, I'm just speaking selfishly, if it leads to more controllers like this that I can use wirelessly, then I'm all for it. Because that's like every controller I get for Xbox that's third party, I love it. But my one gripe is that they're all wired. If we can get rid of that wire, then I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic, honestly. I kind of got to wonder how long until something like that even takes effect, because, like, yeah, they can give people access to the wireless tech for their accessories, but we might not see anything for a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year. Who the fuck knows? We might not see anything for a while. But if that's their reason for doing this, I get it. But it just kind of sucks. It just kind of sucks for anybody who's... Oh, I wanted to bring up, do you have any hard drives, external hard drives, on your Xbox?
I have just the Seagate one.
I'm wondering if this is going to affect those. I don't think it will, because I haven't gotten an error message at all. But somebody replied to me the other day saying, does this affect external hard drives? And I'm like, I didn't even think of that shit. Because I've got one external hard drive that's licensed, and then I've got like 3 or 4 that are not licensed for Xbox. I haven't gotten any error messages yet, but it's like, dude, if I get an error message on I have like an 8 terabyte or 6 terabyte hard drive back there for my Series X that's not licensed, dude, if I get an error message on that, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. I'm gonna be a little bit upset about that. But so far, I haven't. So who knows? But it says in their whole post, it says, only officially licensed things, and it's like they list officially licensed hard drives as well. So I don't know, man.
That's scary.
I don't know. It's weird, and I also saw somebody say there was another reason they were doing this. I believe you hinted at it earlier when you were talking about K-Meg and the Fight Stick. Like, cheating is obviously a thing. People buy like third-party what are they called, strike packs for their controllers and everything. It's trying to crack down on things like that, but it comes at the cost of kind of just screwing over a good amount of people who are not cheating, who are just playing the game with the things that they have, and now they're just kind of screwed, which sucks, man. It sucks, but I get it, but it doesn't make it suck any less, honestly. but yeah, what do you, I guess I should ask, do you have any unlicensed of Xbox things? I mean, you mentioned that Seagate hard drive, but Seagate and Xbox work closely together. I would imagine you're not. I mean, I got lose.
Thrustmaster.
But even Thrustmaster, wait, what do you have Thrustmaster for? Like a flight stick or?
A flight stick, yeah.
I'm pretty. Is that officially licensed or no?
I think so.
Yeah, you might be fine then.
I mean, it was one of the main things to get for Flight Sim.
Yeah.
It even has an Xbox button on it. Like that, so.
Oh yeah, I think you're fine.
I think that one's fine. Other than that, I mean, the only kind of like third-party accessories I have are for like old.
Oh, dude, yeah. If Xbox got rid of third-party accessories for the 360, I'd be fucked. I can't find a legit 360 controller anymore that's not in horrible shape. I mean, my 360 controller is a piece of shit. Is a terrible controller, and that console's a piece of shit too. Not the 360, but the 360 I have is just a horrible pile of garbage, and I never ever use it. But yeah, that would be fucked if they did that. But yeah,
he gave you a good deal, didn't he?
I fucking hate that guy. he's like, I'm selling a 360 for like. With some games for like $100, no, that's not bad. I'll look into it, right? And then I get it, and it's just disgusting. It's just a filthy ass 360. And I message him. I'm like, dude, what's up with this shit? Why is it so dirty? And he's like, I can take half off the price if you want, or you can just return. I'm just like, give me half my money back. I'm not going through the trouble returning this shit, dude. I had to clean it, and disgusting. It's just a disgusting console. But yeah, to get into some more news.
Just such a disgusting god.
To get into some more news, Max Payne 1 and 2 remake progress into the production readiness stage. This comes from an investors meeting. Or no, a little bit of an investors meeting, I guess, with Remedy after the release of Alan Wake 2. Receiving the great reception it had, they kind of sat down and talked about what's going on in their studio, what projections are looking like money-wise for the studio, which isn't really the focus. The focus here is Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes being officially in the production readiness stage, which I guess that means they're ready to enter production. They can actually start working on the games to actually get them to us. they announced these games in 2021, I think.
Okay.
When do you think, if we're just in production readiness, like they're just beginning production on these, when do you think we see Max Payne 1 and 2 remake?
Well, with them just having Alan Wake out, I think they'd be hard at work on Max Payne now.
Yeah, they would be all hands on.
And depending on the amount of work that they're putting into it, which it looks like it's going to be a lot different. I'm expecting this and this is like being being positive to me. I think it'd be out by like fall of 2025.
That's not bad. I thought you were going to say 2026.
No, I'd say fall. And like I said, I think that's being really nice.
Yeah. I mean, shit, dude, I would
think
love
it'd
that.
probably be more appropriate, seeing like if you played the game. I think it'd be more appropriate to drop it in the winter of 2026.
It's a perfect winter game.
It is a great winter game.
Because I played
too in the game.
Exactly. I played Max Payne 2. I got Max Payne 2 for Christmas when I was a kid. So Max Payne 2 for me is essentially a Christmas game. That's basically a Christmas game, honestly. But dude, yeah, those are perfect winter games. Just the vibe of those. Just a cold, dark game. But yeah, you said 2025. I'm thinking 2026 we see this. And I think it's gonna look so damn good. I mean, dude, I'm playing Alan Wake 2. Like I said, I played a very small amount of Alan Wake 2. I remember we talked about like the best looking games we played this generation. Callisto Protocol was right there. I mean, Callisto Protocol is visually is just fucking insane. I think this beats out Callisto Protocol. It looks fucking crazy. Just visually.
Oh, you're talking about just like the visuals in Alan Wake?
Just visually, yeah, it looks fucking crazy.
I like how you didn't say Forbidden West, because you know that's the go.
No, I don't. Dude, here's the thing about Forbidden West. Forbidden West can look as high fidelity as it wants. It doesn't look good to me. It just doesn't look good to me. It looks generic. It looks uninspired.
Oh my god!
It looks like a mobile game that they decided to run in 4K. That's what it looks like to me.
You're wrong.
That's what that shit looks like to me. I can't do it.
Phil.
Oh, and as soon as Forbidden West comes up, Kay Asante joins. And if I'm not mistaken, Kay Asante, doesn't he love Forbidden West?
Yes, he does. He really enjoyed that game.
I apologize, Kay Asante, but
he says I show up in Matt ass.
But Ham brought it up. Ham brought it up. Don't play me.
I was just trying to say it's a good looking game. I didn't say I loved it. I just said it was a good looking game. Kay Asante already knows how I feel about. Right.
Listen, I feel from a fidelity standpoint, it is factually a great looking game. From an art standpoint, I would rather look at just a wall. I'd rather look at a wall. I'd rather look at a wall, honestly.
Let's move on.
But yeah, like, I apologize. But yeah, Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. I'm calling it now, 2026. I would hope winter. It just makes sense winter. Or right at the beginning of 2026. Like December, January I should say, of 2026. Release Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. That would be perfect. I'd be very, very happy. Man, I'm trying to think. I want to say.
Do you think they're gonna take anything from Rockstar from 3?
Dude,
because
you almost
Payne 3
have
was
to.
hot. Max Payne 3 was hot. Being able to dive and then you're knocking bottles off of the, tables, and like you're actually like physically kind of getting hurt diving.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of a nice, cool touch to the game.
I feel like you almost have to. I mean, you don't want to make Max Payne 1 and 2 Max Payne 3, but take some of the best things from Max Payne 3 and put it in the remakes. I feel like that makes a lot of sense, especially for Max Payne 2. Like Max Payne 1, I think Max Payne 1 is going to be a lot mostly untouched outside of, visually being remade. I think Max Payne 1, if you're going to stay faithful completely, that needs to be the game that you stay faithful completely.
As long as they get rid of the clop, 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 clop.
Oh yeah, the
clop,
sound of the
clop, clop, clop,
the sound of the running. No,
it was killing me.
it's like so loud. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter what surface you're on either. It's just loud as shit. And okay, something says Max Payne 3 still holds up. Well, dude, Max Payne 3 to this day, my favorite games of that genre, like that third person action, would be Max Payne 3 and then Tomb Raider 2013. Both of those, Max Payne 3 probably a little bit more, honestly, hold up today very, very well. Like, I know you just played Max Payne 3 not too long ago.
Like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, and I started up a playthrough of that a little bit before that. Dude, it's
love
phenomenal.
backwards compatibility. Gotta love it.
It's fantastic. That game is amazing on Xbox. It's amazing. Dude, anywhere you play that. But if you ever get a chance, to play that on PC. In fact, you know what? I might grab that for you off of a key. I might do that off of a key site or something.
Don't do that,
dude. That game can't be too much money, honestly. If I'll find that game for $5 and I'll get that for you or whatever. But dude, if you get a chance to play that on PC, my fucking god, it's nuts. It is, dude. It's nuts on PC. It looks good for today.
Oh, damn.
By today's standards, and it plays like it has the gameplay that you're used to, but it's 60 FPS plus. It's nuts, and you'll run that at like 150 FPS probably, like almost certainly on your PC. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't played Max Payne yet and you're watching, dude, check out Max Payne 3. My god, it's fantastic. Let me get rid of this real quick. There we go. But yeah, I wanted to talk. Oh yeah, right before I started the show, there was this images claiming to show the new PS5's console setup seemingly confirm a one-off internet connection is required to pair its new detachable disk drive for both digital and disc editions.
Oh, I thought it was only digital.
Nope, the disc version too.
Oh,
which is insane. And here's the thing, I'm not gonna get like overtly outraged at this, because for me, honestly, if I was getting that, I would connect it to the internet one time, I'd be done. But it's dumb. It's still really dumb that you need to do that.
It's literally what the Xbox One was.
It is, and that was dumb. And that was dumb.
Because remember, the Xbox One, they said, yeah, you don't have to keep it online, but we do need you to check in the first.
Exactly. And whenever they said that, everybody, rightly so, was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why? And it's like, I look at this console and I say the same thing. Why do I gotta do that? Because that doesn't make any sense. And they even have like a little photo. It says you can't use your disk drive. Restart your PS5. It's like, dude.
I mean, let's be real. If you don't have internet, you're tripping.
Dude, yeah. If you're on a
keep that a buck right now.
If you're on a
for
PS5,
all the people that says Xbox bad because of this, you're now in the same boat. You're actually paddling with us now.
Yes, 100%.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like and I agree with that. Like if you're on a PS5, a Series X, Series S, even if you're on a new generation console and you don't have access to some form of internet, then
your priorities are messed up.
Yeah, you got it backwards. You got it way backwards. You got it so far backwards, man. because it's internet. You guys talked about it. In fact, I think we talked about it on the show last week. It's almost a necessity at this point. It's like people take it for granted and whatnot, obviously, but it's like, dude, you don't realize how much internet's almost a necessity for just basic things you do every day until, like, the other night we lost internet for like an hour, and I'm like, oh shit. I can't, like, I was like, oh, whatever, I'll take a break, I'll just listen to something on YouTube. And it's like I went to go turn on my laptop and whatever and just listen to something. I was like, oh shit, I have to use my phone. I can't do that on my laptop without internet. I can't, like, because I game share on my Xbox, like on my Series X, I can't boot up a game on my Series X because I don't have internet. And it's like, you kind of forget how fucking integral having internet is. Like, you know, just asking, I can't even say the word, but asking your smart device a question, and then it's like, oh yeah, I don't have internet. Just shit you get used to having every day, and then you don't have it, and you're just like, god damn it, the fuck, where am I at? What country is this?
Yeah, there is no detour, there is a full stop.
Exactly. But yeah, dude, I mean, honestly, guys, you should get internet. You should try it out. It's not bad. You should try it out. But yeah, dude, that was like the final thing I wanted to bring up today was this like I said, it's hard for me to get outraged about this. It's hard for me to like get really passionate about this because I feel like Ham summed it up. If you don't have internet at this point on a PS5, then I don't know what to tell you. But it is dumb nonetheless. It was dumb when Xbox did it last gen. It's still dumb this generation. And I feel like it's going to get even more dumb next generation. So that's something to look forward to, guys. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that on that note for today. But yeah, let's get into the outros. Unless you have anything else you want to add for the show.
That PS5 Slim, it's just something.
Dude, it doesn't look good. It's just like, I don't know. To me, like, it's hard to make that design look appealing to me.
I mean, the one thing I do like about it is they made the exterior panels kind of like sleek.
Okay.
Instead of kind of like rough.
Like,
yeah, like it kind of shows a reflection.
Oh,
which I think is,
okay.
Which I think is kind of a little bit more sleek, but like if you're looking directly at it in comparison to the original PS5, the PS5 has those vents, right?
Yeah.
The new ones they look like they're missing teeth.
Yeah, now that I look at it, that's great. Also, the covers don't come up over it. They're at the, I don't know. I'm sorry.
And that inner piece, I'm not sure. That might just be the angle that I'm at, so I'm not even. But whatever. I mean, it's used to play games. So, I mean, I'm not staring at the console when I'm playing. I'm staring at TV. So,
yeah.
So all in all, it doesn't really make much of a difference, and plus I already have a PS5 disc version, so I could care less.
Same here.
I just don't see the I don't really see the wow effect about it at all.
Yeah, same.
Like they could have not announced this and just continued to come out with the PlayStation 5s that they have, and it would have been no big deal.
Yeah. Asante says they made it two-tone white. The bottom is matte and the top is glossy.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, the top. I see what he's talking about. Kind of. It's kind of hard to see because the background on this photo is white. But I see what he means. Like the top part with that PlayStation logo on it is glossy, and there's no reflection on the bottom part. I don't know. That seems like a weird design choice, honestly. I don't know why I wouldn't just make the whole thing glossy. Or the whole thing matte. Like, I'm not entirely sure. He says it would have been a big deal for them, though, Ham. This is cheaper to make and cost the same, or more. So this makes the money. And that's the problem I have with this thing, Keasante, is the fact that typically during a console generation, they do this every console generation. I mean, they always like do a slim version, and it costs them less money to make, and then they typically start to make money on the console at that point during the console generation. If you cost less money to make, the price of this console, speaking about the digital version, because the disc version is still the same price, so you are basically getting about the same or better deal there. But for this, or the digital, we'll say, it goes up in price. And I'm like, and we talked about this a few times on the show, Am. That is the part that doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, keep it the same price or lower it, but don't raise the shit if it costs you less to make.
If your whole point is to not get a disc drive.
Yeah.
If your whole point is to not have a disc drive, this stinks.
Yep. Yes. Kesante says, yup, and Sony has realized folks are willing to pay, so they're charging folks more. And here, we also talk about that too. If people are willing to pay, and fuck it, keep raising the prices until they tell you otherwise. Like, dude, I mean, I don't blame them, quite honestly, but it's just one of those things looking like outside looking in, not being a big business conglomerate, because I'm not. I look at that and I'm just like, it's a little bit shitty. But when you say it like that, it's like, yeah, fuck. I mean, if they're gonna pay you money for the same or less, then why not charge them more? Honestly, if they're willing to put up with it. So, it's hard to blame them. It's hard to blame them, honestly. But yeah, it is what it is. That's the PS5 Slim. I mean, that's the final topic for today. Like I said, Ham, unless you got anything else you want to add before we get out of here.
Nah, not really, bro. I think that's
sounds good.
Pretty much ties it up for the week on that.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. But let's get into the outros. Ham, let them know where they can find you, bud. Where they can check
you can find me on Twitter at HamSolo05Gaming, and then you can find me here on YouTube at TSWS Gaming.
Link in the description this time. Check it out.
Nice. But then there's a new link that isn't in the description.
Oh no, what's that?
My Rumble.
Oh shit.
For game streaming. I've been doing my game streaming specifically on Rumble to not mess with my YouTube. So because I don't know, I feel like YouTube's finicky and I just don't even want to mess with it. So I'm just keeping my regular shows there, and whenever I decide to play some classics, like yesterday I played Blitz the League. The day before I played Dragon's Dogma live, and I threw in a little bit of Starfield, and also some Sega Saturn. I played some JVC boxing, or it's called goddamn, why am I forgetting that? The centering boxing made by G. But yeah, that's just another place that you can find me, and that one's TSWS Gaming.
Nice. Sounds good, man. As for myself, you can find me obviously here every week on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern with Ham Solo for the Two Player Podcast, but also videos on Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern both days. And then you can find me on Ham's show with Loke and Cozy, and that is Bullsitting on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then also you can find me on The Game Drain Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern. That has its own YouTube channel. In fact, I need to start putting that in the description as well. But just type in The Game Drain on YouTube, you will find it, and that's where you can find me. Oh, Twitter at Matt Likes Games as well. Check me out there for tweets and whatnot, or Zeets as kids are calling them now. And that's where you can find me. With that being said, exactly. for all my zitters and z's. But you can check me out there. That's where you can find me and Ham. And with that being said, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.